should be live, but I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi. I pause everything in the house when I do this, so I don't drop you guys.
Oh.
Like
I
Jenna's
wish I
taking
could
a
do the
nap,
same.
like Aubrey's doing the dishes. Boom, and we are live. Cool. All right. It is Wednesday, the 20th.
20.
The 20.
Fast, right?
The 20.
Or is it just me? Is this month going fast?
I think so.
I think so.
I don't know. It just seems like this year's already started. I want it to be over. It can't be worse than last year. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just getting excited to move again. Just get a new scenery. It is. Oh shit! It is Wednesday the 20th. We are here live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. Both of those titles are Chris's Comic Corner. Check it out. Drop a like, drop a follow, drop a subscribe. I got like 3 subscribers on YouTube now, and that's like it's like the whole mystery game because it doesn't tell you who they are. I'm like, ooh, who is this? Right? I know it's somebody. Obviously,
Look,
somebody
Mom,
I know.
you made it.
As always, to my right, we have the young woman that's trailblazing with her TikTok, book reviews, and Instagram posts. None other than, I'm sorry, you can find her, the handle for that one again.
For my Instagram?
Instagram, book reviews.
Fat Lou Reads.
Fat Lou Reads on TikTok as well?
No, it's just my name, Allory, on TikTok.
You just share the TikToks to the Instagram.
Yeah, I started out as just an observer, and then I was like, oh my god, there are people who talk about books on here. And
nice. As always, with me every week, to my right, sometimes my left, but this week to my right, Allory Offlick as well, and our fairly newcomer. She had some internet trouble last week. She will not just come out and say she didn't read the book. And none other than our good friend Laura. Laura, Allory, how are you guys doing this week?
not too bad.
I hear you.
Just followed Allory on TikTok.
Thanks, man.
There we go.
I just got the notification. I am gonna end up blocking your number, Chris, because you can't keep giving me recommendations because then I keep buying them.
Oh, did you at least give it a thumb test? Did you thumb through it and look?
I have not, because I also got this one and it's a little gay romance and I'm so excited and I started it immediately. I was like, yes, and there are 3 more volumes and I'm like 10 pages in and I've already like added to cart. So I picked up that one first.
As for that Mountainhead, I did read the first issue in the trade. It is a very comic or kind of cartoony art style, but I think it's definitely going to feed your Christmas need for asking your fiance for some gory books, because there's definitely some gore.
I mean, yeah,
definitely,
I'm giving it the flip through now, and
right, it's definitely got like that John Carpenter like body horror to it in a sense as well. But I read the first issue and I was hooked. Oh, that was really cool. We'll have to look into that maybe in the next month or so. We're here again every Wednesday. We're talking about books. We're talking about movies. We're talking about TV. We're talking about all things geekdom that we're into our little nerd niche, if you would. This week we are talking about a book that came out in 2015 and ran through 2018. 15 through 18. I think that's one. Yeah. 15 through 18. The series is complete. You can check it out now. Oh, what's that?
I said I looked it up.
Oh, I hear.
Oh,
okay. Okay,
I
gotcha.
did a deep internet dive on this series, so.
Oh, good. Well, good. I hope you can have a lot of input and elaborate on these 5 reasons I think you should read this title. Again, it's from the publisher Dark Horse. This series is complete. You can pick them all up at once. You can pick up the single issues. You can pick up trade paperbacks. They have hardcover library editions. And the first omnibus has come out last week or 2 weeks ago, covering the first half of the book. It's 16 issues, 32 issues in total. The book that we're talking about this week is Harrow County by Cullen Bunn. Cullen Bunn is he is a avid horror writer, I would say, but he does, without question, definitely say he definitely appreciates. His titles are more of his creator-owned things. He has done brief stints with DC. He has done brief stints with Marvel, but where he really shines is these creator-owned properties, mostly horror. He's had a sci-fi or two, but of course, you get your toes too deep in the sci-fi waters, you're eventually going to come back around to horror. My personal stance. Right off the bat, Allory, you got 2 sentences. What do you say about the first trade of Harrow County in which you've read?
I didn't prepare for that, man. I read the first trade and a half because you told me 6 issues, and I read them.
Burn through them.
Okay. 2 sentences.
That works.
I love a good witch story.
Absolutely.
And really strong narration. Those were my first 2 thoughts.
You're okay. All right. Witch stories. I mean, definitely a lot of them here as of late. Obviously, I think the comic book world is obviously, other than your 2 superpowers, they're definitely teetering towards these indie books and creator-owned titles, and old school witches, modern day witches. I don't think anything. I think it's universal. I think witches are definitely universal in any sense in which you portray them. We've got Monarch Stable. I started a few days ago. Yes.
That's
nice. We've got people reading books.
Yes.
The sole purpose for the page, just to get people to read comic books. Thank you, Monica. Laura, 2 sentences or so. What do you think? What's your big takeaway from Harrow County?
So my first sentence, buy it, you'll love it. And I love supernatural and like Allory, a good witch story. And I think that this was just so well done with like spooky, but yeah, it's great.
Spooky. We love witches, and it's great. I agree with everything you said. I do. You both read it digital, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Both read off Comixology?
Yep.
I do. I picked up. It's a book that I've known's been out. I've been aware of this book. I've read, being the superhero hound that I am, I've read some of Cullen Bunn's work on his superhero titles. I've seen countless amounts of his books. We've talked a couple times. I've picked up his Six Gun, kind of his Western sci-fi, my very favorite kind of geekdom. But here recently, since the COVID pandemic, comic book shops are struggling to keep the doors open, things like that. But what really spoke volumes is I think Cullen Bunn has released in this year 3 original stories, and a plethora of issues of ongoing series that he's been doing. But at my local comic shop alone, he's been sending through Diamond, the comic publisher. He sent my shop alone multiple trades and single issues signed, things like that, just to show some appreciation, just to help people out, things like that. And dude seems like a top-notch guy. I've seen him in a few podcasts before. He's a big horror hound as well. I see he's got a life-size statue of it was the horror movie. It was like the Halloween night, Trick or Treat. Remember the little kid, like the little snack bag? He's got like a life-size one in his bedroom.
I love that. It's so good. That's such an overlooked movie. So good.
It is. I have a Sam costume.
Sam, that was it. Okay, yeah. There it is. But me, I knew about the book, but I obviously wanted to get it in a bigger format. I like to I obviously like the trade formats. If I'm iffy on a book, I knew being Cullen Bunn, I wanted to pick it up in a little bit bigger sense. I definitely wanted to pick up the library editions because it looks so nice on the shelves, but the first one sold out and the other ones are still available, and I just didn't want to pay double on eBay for it. So I picked up the omnibus. What spoke volumes, obviously, was just the individuals that spoke out on the book for Harrow County. Right on the blurb, front cover there, we've got Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy. Absolutely loves it. We've got Mark Millar, who did Kick-Ass and all these other great books like that. IGN, The Guardian, Paste Magazine, the great Jeff Lemire, all kinds of people sing the praises of it. Sadly, never won an Eisner, but has been nominated for multiple through its 32-issue run. But again, that let's see, let's hit start. Boom! Again, written by Cullen Bunn, drawn by Tyler Crook. I did listen to a podcast because Tyler Crook did Harrow County with him, and they're kind of like a collaborative team, and they do books together. They don't do books together, but it was so funny that I listened to a podcast. He keeps trying to Cullen Bunn talks to the artist Tyler Crook, and he tells him that, hey man, your art's really not that good. Just really kind of downplaying it so he'll stick with him throughout his comic book career, telling him his art kind of sucks. You should probably stick with me. My narrative will continue to get your art out there, but it's phenomenal art. Without question.
There's a I don't know if you looked, but Laura, at the end of Comixology, did you go through the like drafts?
I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, so they have like Cullen Bunn will have like his thoughts on one of the, and then Tyler Crook underneath it will be like, well, we did it this way. Like, and it was really interesting to go through. Like the little boy Cullen Bunn had originally imagined him as like closer to Emmy's age, and then but Tyler Crook was like, nah, and like drew him as a little boy, and they were just like, all right, you're right, it's better.
If you don't like it, you draw it, kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Give me my creative freedom.
The stuff at the end, like all of that extra stuff, was literally the reason that I didn't make it through 6, because I was just so like nerding out about that. I was like,
did you read
checking
the
out
story?
Of the sketchbook. Yes.
I skimmed through it. I didn't read through the whole thing because like I finished it like right before I was going to bed last night, and I wanted to keep reading, so I read the next 2 issues. But yeah, Chris, does yours have that? It has like so this was originally based on like a story he had started writing, like not in comic form, and then like so it has like the whole story.
No,
yeah, it's like the Harrow County Tales.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely one of the big perks about the library editions. I think this solo edition here, mind you, there's only going to be 2 of them. They're so jam-packed, they didn't want to make this paperback spine any bigger.
Yeah.
And they didn't add it. But I think that's one of the big perks to the 4 library editions is all the extras and things like that. Don't hate on me. Anywhere in Athens to buy comics. I just started getting into them. That's Allory and Laura's department. What do you guys think?
There was so on Quirk Street there used to be the Wizards Guild, and sadly it closed 2 years ago. But they had a great going out of business sale. I got a whole bunch of stuff, so that was the silver lining. There's a new place that I haven't been, but I've seen it just like on the main highway heading toward Columbus. I think it's pretty close to Canal. But I haven't stopped there. It's on the left side, like when you're heading toward Columbus. And I happened to notice it a few months ago on the way back, but it was like a weird time and I don't think they were open. But I usually try to make a trip like every other month up to Columbus to the Laughing Ogre because they have a huge collection and it's awesome. Like it's a huge comic store. So I don't know if Laura knows of anywhere else.
I do, and I'm going to totally plug local here. Little Professor Bookstore uptown has a pretty okay selection, but anything that you want, they will order it, like no extra charge to you. They usually have it in within just a couple days. They're wonderful. You can even just like email them an order and they'll let you know when it's in, so you don't have to make 2 trips up there. Like, nice. Love Little Professor. So stay local.
It's little, not like Lil.
Yeah, it's like little. Sorry, I don't enunciate.
We're professors. We're not.
On the level.
Don't come around here with
like
that
it's Lil Italy, okay? It's not Little Italy.
Monica, I hope that helped you out. I hope that helps you out and gets you reading more comics. We'll start down. Like I said, I came up with 5 reasons I think people should give this book a try. We'll go ahead and just start jotting down a list. And please, at any time, jump on in. My first, already did that. Number 5, right? Gorgeous artwork, without question. I think the artwork is phenomenal in this book. It's that. Do I like that? Let's go back to this. Okay, that kind of sucks too. Can't really tell. It's super small. I wish I could just like move these.
Can you give it the whole page just for a minute so everyone can see up
Go.
close?
Solo, boom, right there.
Boom.
There you
Absolutely
go.
gorgeous artwork. Without a doubt, I think one of Harrow County's draws is the artwork. I think before you even know the story, the art really kind of just leaps off the page. And with each page, it's definitely this drawn outline, but obviously this hand-painted watercolor by Tyler Crook. I mean, the series kind of sets itself apart off this artwork alone, and like it's a really compelling visual style. And honestly, it's just I think he really shines. A lot of this book takes place in the woods, and I think with such a big area to play with, I think it's just freaking awesome. And he's really got everything down. Like even color that you don't think belongs there, he'll put it in there, and you're like, wow, it does belong there. What do you guys think?
I
sure.
totally
I
agree
mean-
with you.
Yeah.
When you was like that comment you made about colors you don't think belong there is like spot on, because you a lot of times when they make like wooded imagery, it's like pretty dark, and you can see how bright that is, like from the lantern and everything. I thought it was phenomenal.
Let's see, Monica again. Hey, great. She'll check them out. And guess what? You know what? I did it. Thanks. Awesome. Look at that. We're getting comic books in the hands of soon-to-be comic book readers. Yeah, I think Tyler Crook's art is great. They're in a world where we have so much digital art, and believe me, by no means am I ever going to knock digital art. Art is art, no matter which way you cut it. I'm definitely a pencils and inks guy, but to watercolor this, I think this is just phenomenal. And also, I did notice, I did love in these. Hide this guy. I'll show this guy real quick. I love in the beginning of every book, he's got the title in it.
I'm really glad you brought that up, because a lot of like sometimes it's almost even like you can see like part of it. And then you have to look for the rest. I think it's so cool how he like hid the title. Like it's always like in the nature and stuff. Like that's my favorite part of the art. Honestly, I thought it was so cool.
Absolutely. And like I said, I think that kind of works. No, he demands you, with drawing you in like that, I think he just demands you to look at a little bit more closely at his art. I mean, if you're going to get that splash and the intro of the comic book, I mean, your eyes are just going to keep looking for more, and I think that's awesome. No, so again, 5 reasons. My first one, no question, absolutely gorgeous artwork. Reason number 2, or let's call it 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, number 4. Why not? The Southern Gothic aesthetic. I definitely dig it. I think it works. I've read books where it doesn't work. I definitely read books where this Southern Gothic aesthetic seems kind of forced in the dialogue, or maybe even the dialogue that the characters are speaking. This book definitely takes place in like a rural Southern community. All right. Southern community. It taps into a tradition of Southern Gothic horror. And of course, listening to podcasts from Cullen Bunn, he was an individual who had grown up in North Carolina, and I think he does bring a wealth of like personal history to a sense, um, to this project. Obviously, let's see what we got. Please remove. I don't want to do that. Oh, I'm so showing that one. That's why.
Yeah, so I'll say honestly, I was so like the first issue starts and for a good bit
Mhm.
where like we just have the narration. So the narration is very much like it's very different from the spoken dialogue.
Yes.
And I love the narration. I think it's really cool when we have because like in this case we have the third person narration instead of because a lot
Mhm.
of times the narrator will still be like the main character and we just get like their thoughts, but this is like a completely outside person, which I thought was really interesting as far as narration.
Yeah.
But they so when I started, like between that and the artwork, when we got to dialogue, I was actually really surprised to see where we were, like because that was like the first time I was like, oh, we're in the South.
Right. No, no, and I think, obviously we get these these hints, which is definitely something I don't know. I mean, depending on how much you've read and how much you haven't, it's definitely a Southern thing. And him again being, growing up in North Carolina, I'm sure it's something that he's heard as a child, and of course, other Southern, Gothic kind of folklores definitely are panned out in the book. And I show this guy real quick. Boom. Let's solo it real quick. Let me hide you. No, you see, there's definitely creatures that are in this book that you have or haven't heard of, or definitely that kids in the South, old spooky folklores that grandparents would tell them back in the day, or something of the sort. They absolutely come to life in this book, and um, I think if you didn't know anything about Southern Goth before, I think Harrow County is easily a very fine place to start. Perfect. What do you think, Laura? You got anything to add?
Yeah, I would definitely agree that it's a good place to start. Like I said, I love all things spooky, and I had heard the like term haints before, but I just like wasn't super familiar, and like did do a deep dive on kind of the like southern spook stuff, and it was really fun.
I
No,
honestly assumed it was something he made up. Like I have never heard that word before in my life.
I again, until yesterday when I picked up the book, and I hadn't known, but I believe him now. I mean, growing up as a kid in the South, I'm sure it could have possibly been a thing. I mean, you get your reader to believe, then why not? Um, let's see, number three of five. Rich lore in the world building, like we both said. I originally said six, then I was like, oh shit, the first trade's only four. But of course, I actually went to six. Um, let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Three. Um, no, like absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and show this guy on here. Let's go ahead and solo this. No, I think Harrow County is definitely a book that will get deeper as it goes, without question. I'm from just the six issues that I read, and having an ideal of or Cullen Bunn's other work, it's going to definitely reward the readers who have stuck with the book, continue to read along with the book, and he definitely does do that kind of TV show s kind of thing. That thing that you don't really think that matters in the beginning matters. Um, but I'm sure like through each story arc, it's going to continue the scope of this series. Hopefully, I assume the scope of the series will continue to grow larger and kind of more ambitious, if you would. I knowing the huge cast of characters in his other books, I assume we're definitely going to get more characters. We're definitely teased with a new character at the end of the first trade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Solo that one off. Good, we got the cat. Nice.
This is Lou, my Instagram
That's the one.
inspiration. That's the one.
No, I do. I think we're gonna, with Cullen Bunn reading his. We're gonna get new characters as we go. We're gonna definitely get new threats, new revelations of what we have perceived to be true or perceived not to be true. We don't know yet. From Haints themselves, or secrets within the town or the townspeople, or even our lead character Emmy herself. I think nothing might seem to be as it really is in Harrow County. Put that on my blurb. I guess more like dash Chris.
Ooh.
Like nothing is as it seems to be in Harrow County. And that'll be the intro, and we'll just like wave into the first episode. But no, I absolutely dig it. I do. I think this is gonna, off the first trade alone, he's definitely built a world that you want to know more about, and he's gonna only expand, obviously.
Yeah, and I'll say just like from where we went from the end of the 4th to the 6th is not what I was expecting. Like I thought this was really like very much going to be like a solo journey about Emmy, but it's not.
No,
And like and I'm super like I said, I wanted to keep reading yesterday, but I knew we were only discussing the first little bit, and I didn't want to confuse myself and then accidentally ruin anything for Laura because she only read 4.
Well, I mean, we've got Monica here that wants to definitely delve into the book as well. So I think 4 is an absolutely a reasonable little chunk to delve to discuss. But no, I do. I think that.
Did Laura freeze?
Oh no.
Oh.
There she.
Oh no! I insulted her so much she left.
You just warped her out of here. Damn. Oh, here she is. Laura's ready to join. And let's show Laura. 3, 2, 1. There's Laura. All right.
All right. Woo! Proof it's my internet. I totally read Dracula, motherfucker. I didn't love it.
Like in context, like if someone was just watching that, you're like, I totally read Dracula, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, she was harsh to them.
This girl's got some beef.
I think they're actually friends.
Gotta give you your name back. There.
Boom.
No, again, I definitely hope this is a book that's going to continue to build. What do you think, Laura?
I absolutely agree. I loved it. I'm so excited to read until 6, Allory. I do apologize. Just got so got so deep into it that I couldn't move forward. I had to just deep dive at the level I was at. But not only is the world building great, I loved how this in such few sentences or even words, the different between the narration and the dialogue could invoke the senses. They talk about the taste of the earth, and you can feel that. And then there's a part where they talk about putting on a worn clothing item that just over the years has always fit right, what that feels like. And I absolutely love the descriptive sensory. Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there were some really nice little poetic moments in there.
Hello, cat in. Sorry.
Oh, I mean,
or food dishes in here. No, I do.
Cats are out if they're gonna start ransacking.
I do. I think there's a lot of. I know I'm definitely a product of it. I know when I think indie comics, I instantly go to Image Comics. They're the Nike of independent storytelling, but Cullen Bunn he's done stories for Image. We discussed, I think last week, that he did get one of his Image books to get optioned for a movie. It was The Empty Man, but he's done independent stories for all the smaller companies. He's done it for Dark Horse. I talked with the Sixth Gun. He did it for Omnipress. All kinds of them. And I would love to get some insight about how, or I mean, when people go to different publishers and this and that sort of like, does this book feel like the right fit for this publisher, or is this a story that I want to be told through this company? Maybe it's like, hey, I'm helping push numbers for this company or get you on your feet, or I don't know. It's always something I'm interested in.
What podcast did you listen to with him on it? Like, do you have a go-to comic podcast?
I love podcasts.
Honestly, my go-tos for comic podcasts are as follows. Library. I do like the Major Spoilers comic book podcast, which again, they do spoil them, but a lot of these.
What?
Yeah. A lot of these ones I listen to, they obviously do it by the week, and they always discuss what's out this week, what they liked, what they didn't this current week. I honestly kind of stay away from them because I'm a guy who picks up kind of every 2 weeks, and I always put them in the box and I get to them as I can. I kind of just scroll through them when I see that they have interviews with individuals that I want to hear. iFanboy is another really, really popular one. And
There's a bug. I'm sorry.
We're falling apart there. All right.
3 cats, and none of them can save me from this bug.
Yeah. And of course, I like AIPT. It's Adventures in Poor Taste. They do get a lot of mainstream artists on here, or on their podcast, not on here. We're not that big just yet.
Time.
No, I just kind of dabble around when I'm reading something, and I'll kind of just search the podcast and type in someone's name and see what the last interview they've done with someone, kind of thing. That's kind of more or less my bread and butter when it comes to it. Okay. I kind of shop around. That was number 3. We talked the rich lore and world building. For my number 2 reason, without question, obviously, I feel like it's a journey that we're going to travel this whole series. Complex female leads. Without a doubt. Let's show our main character here, Emmy. Let me go ahead and take this off so you can actually see the cover there. Again, beyond the artwork, and the horror, I think Harrow County is, at its core, a coming-of-age tale about this girl's journey, or this girl's journey of her own identity, of what she is or what she isn't, and kind of a tale about her own destiny, what that might be or might not be, honestly. And this illusion that we get of Emmy, she's quiet, and this quiet and safe life that she lives. The world obviously crumbles around her, and she has to confront adulthood and the harshnesses of the real world. And and I think kind of brings back to all the tales we have with witch stories. Of course, how this world would treat a woman with power at this time. You know what I mean? I think that's definitely a pillar of any good witch story. The power of a woman, or the fear of a woman with power. I think as we go along, the story should chronicle the evolution of this young girl into a empowered woman, or an empowered witch, or empowered witch woman. I don't know. When do you stop becoming a woman? When do you start becoming a witch? Or you're always a woman and a witch? In this time, it's obviously different. Our times, it's different. And as she, again, chronicles her evolution into adulthood, and into a woman who's no longer afraid of the world. You know, they're afraid of her. And I hope that this book, obviously feeds off that and continues and makes her the badass that she wants to be or doesn't want to be. Um, Damn it, does Laura not have a name?
No, I'm here. Oh, no, I didn't have a name.
Okay.
I thought you were like, shut up, internet again. No, I'm here.
She's a horse with no name. No, you have a name now. No, again, that's my take. I think that's one of the big thing. I think it's obviously the main force behind the book, and I'm glad it's this young girl who's coming of age. But of course, when I say that tagline, when I think it's coming of age, everyone in their head gets a sense of a much younger girl, maybe who has to grow up a little bit too early. But of course, in these times and in this era in which this book it takes place on the eve of her 18th birthday.
It starts out, I think it's like a day or two before, because they say she turns 18 in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Allory, with this female lead that we have, I mean, what are some of your hopes, dreams, or admirations, or things you want her to hope she can steer clear of during this tale? Because again, 32 issues in, the series is over. I intend on reading all of them.
Yeah.
I'm very interested. I do have the first 16 here, so the first 4 trades. I'm kind of that guy that if I have this collection, I got to get the next one. I don't know when the next one comes out because I can't just put it on the bookshelf for trades.
Yeah. Yeah, I like my stuff to match. I think the first 4 or 6 are on Comixology. I'll have to see, but I don't think they have the entire thing. So that just means I'm gonna have to buy them all because I can't only have like the last 2.
No.
But if it's something like if I end up loving it as much as I think I'm going to, I would want to have it anyway because there's a difference between like liking this thing and a comic that I really like is Lumberjanes. It's not one I feel like I have to own, but it's just a really like fun, easy read that like if you're like feeling down, you can read it because it's super cute and still has like all the supernatural stuff. But this is one that I think that like I would want, like I'm gonna want to have in front of me. But I hope that, I think a lot of times when men are writing female protagonists, they have unrealistic expectations of the protagonist.
Absolutely.
That they have to be. And I really like Emmy right off the bat because they don't go out of their way to make like all of their effort and beauty is put into the scenery, and we don't have this overly beautiful or overly sexualized girl. Like she looks like an 18-year-old girl would at the time, who just like is really plain looking. She lives on a farm, so she's not, like glamorized in any way. And I hope we see her. I don't know. I want her to embrace some of this darkness, like because you can see at times that she is fighting it, but I hope she finds a good balance. I hope we keep
comfortable medium. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that we don't, as much as I enjoy a like villain as a main character, I hope she like I assume there will be some trials and stuff like that test her because we've already seen her be like, but I could do this. But I hope that she's able to balance those things and that they stay true to what her character would be, and as they grow up, they don't like
she doesn't
ruin this view
too much to the dark side, too much kind of one way or the other.
Yes.
What do you think, Laura?
Yeah, I think she is gonna like. I am hopeful that she finds that balance. I feel like we are gonna see her become really strong and like great because that's just kind of how. I mean, you see in the very early ones that she's faced with all of these like expectations are thrown upon her, like, oh, you're gonna turn out this way, or you have to do this, and she's like, screw that. Like, I know you followed me and I told you this, but like, I'm my own person.
Absolutely.
And I feel like she already seems like she's strong enough to develop that like self identity, I guess. And And I think that we're going to see a lot more of that in the books to come.
Go on, you.
Yeah, that moment for me was really like the turning point because, like I said, I really thought this whole story was going to like follow this lost girl basically who's been ousted by her community, and but then she's like, "Fuck that," and she comes back like, this is my home. I'm not doing this. We're not doing this.
And on the flip side of that too, yeah. So like they're like, "Oh, you're gonna grow up to be like this evil witch. Like we have to take care of you." But then like the followers of Hester before are like, "Oh, you're gonna fulfill this," and she's like, "I'm not doing any of that. Like, I'm doing me," and I just love that.
Yeah, I have high hopes for her.
I
Stop
definitely
stickers. Sorry, no. I got all these Vine stickers. I got it's an avocado. Thanks. There are 112 for $8 on Amazon. I'm so excited, but my cat
I'm gonna need that. Please tell me you have look at all those chickens.
How about
look at all those chickens?
I don't know if it's Vine or if it's TikTok.
Give me a hat back, Jordan. You want to see Uncle Cracker or not?
Stop! You almost made me drop my croissant.
Yeah, I haven't looked through all of them. I assume that one's in here too.
Do you have I can't remember if it's TikTok or Vine, but and they were roommates. That was one of my favorites.
And they were roommates. Vine is in here. Yes, it's Vine.
Vine. Okay.
Yep, it's in here somewhere.
No, I do. I wholeheartedly agree with what the both of you had to say. I do think it was an easy route if they wanted to just follow this young girl on the run. And I think that was the easy way out. And I was really hoping that this writer that I definitely, I mean, you could see I've got these huge editions down here of some of his other work. Seeing the length or the amount of character development he does in a lot of his stories, I was really hoping they wouldn't go that route, and he didn't. As well as, I think, kind of one thing we didn't discuss about, yes, this is a young girl who is coming of age into a world that's new to her, not only because, one, she's this to-be witch in a sense, but also, she's lived with Pa on the farm for 18 years, and the only other choices she had were to stay and live with Pa and help on the farm, or go find a man and get married. And of course, we're to believe that this young woman who has lived on her farm, and I think they stated maybe once that a woman came to town maybe once a week or so, and brought a bunch of books and read to her and made her read and things like that. She might not have the greatest education in this time or this era, but of course I think that will only add or put up roadblocks in kind of the development of one being forced into womanhood in a definitely a weird time, but also even real life aspects of it as well, in a sense.
Yeah.
So no, I definitely so we did the first four. Supporting characters. The other young girl, I really liked her. They give her a name. They give her a name, right?
Yeah, Bernice or something.
Bernice, that's it. I really enjoy Bernice, and that was another thing. I really hope there's no void that comes between those two. I really hope that Bernice tends to become a recurring character in the story.
I will say Bernice is the one character where I thought the art wasn't as clear. I thought she was much older when they first introduced her, like when she showed up. Like I thought that she was married to her dad. But then later,
which I think it's her grandpa.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. Later I think they do. So when she and Emmy go off together, I think they do a much better job of showing that she's younger. Like she looks much younger. So I don't know if I just wasn't, did you guys get that impression when she first came on? Like I thought she was much older.
Yeah, I definitely did at first too.
No, I honestly, I thought she was a daughter to the older man. And of course, then once Emmy makes the run for it through the woods, that she does state, yeah, my grandfather was there too. Like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
No, and then of course she's going to have. I mean, obviously she's going to be the go-to, young lady in this town when it comes to, hey, my kids are sick, or my wildlife are dying, or something of the sort. But then we're thrown, obviously, I think we jump to the UK, or do we jump to Paris? The very last 2 pages there.
I can't remember where they are.
They do, yeah. They do the big jump that you don't see coming, and
And you're just left with a who's that?
right. And then of course she does. I'm certain it's not only me, but she appears to have a striking resemblance to our main character as well, in a sense. Did you get that feeling as well?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm gonna say it's the UK based on this first panel here. Um, just kind of, you see like a little bit of a double decker bus down there in these
Yeah.
buildings. I'd say it's the UK. And of course, she appears to be a very wealthy woman. She has a butler, or a hand.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, in this format, I get this panel here, but I get the next cover for the next book, and then obviously the resemblance of the two.
Right.
So, and of course, I'm not going to delve into that one just yet, because I screwed up and said the first four, and I'm going to stick to it. I'll go down with this ship. And of course, number one, I don't know how much of physical book collectors the both of you are. As for me, it's kind of the one thing I spend my money on.
It's a problem.
Don't get it twisted. This stuff back here I won in raffles. Believe me, I just paid for the framing. I don't spend money on any of this stuff. I do spend my money on books, and of course, my number one. You guys might not like it unless you're book collectors. Me personally is the complete stories and the collected editions and the library editions. I do think that they're done very well. Um, I am very excited to get the rest of these. I'm very excited to have these in the complete story. I think this picture here is
Oh, I like that cover.
yeah, absolutely. Yes, they're beautiful. This is one of the library editions. These are the hardcovers in which they come in four. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that covers all the trades. And of course, you've got the 8 volumes, the 8 trade paperbacks. You've got the 4 hardcover library editions, and then the 2 omnibuses, in which I picked up here. I'm a sucker for it. There's no doubt. I mean, it's like I said, I buy video games very rarely nowadays. I don't buy a lot of other things. These are one things that I find like keep their value. And of course, one day I'm going to pass a absolute library on to my children and grandchildren. But no, again, 32 issue run. We're talking 4 hardcovers. We're talking 8 trades. We're talking 2 of the omnibuses. And I think the way this book reads, it definitely is absolutely a page turner for me. I hope it's the same for the both of you. And of course, you guys spoke alone on the Comixology with the plethora of bonus content in the books.
Yeah,
and
that way.
Don't get.
If you're also like Monica and anyone out there who's wanting to get started on a budget, Comixology is where it's at, because you can read it on your computer, on your phone. They will sync between devices. If you have a Kindle, mine uploads right to my Kindle, so I don't have to take up a lot of room on my phone. But they have so many things. They have the first 4, at least, volumes of this, and it's like $6 or $7 a month. And they have so much stuff. If you don't want to, I also like, I prefer to have like the things that I really love. I like to have the physical copies, but if you're not a collector, it's the way to go because it's really nice, especially when it's harder to access them like around here.
Yeah.
It's no, I definitely find myself doing it now. I've delved into like this. I'm doing a Facebook page and a YouTube page and all this and that. So I obviously go and check out other people that do their things too. I'm trying to start getting into all these single issues I get on the weekly. Now we've got people who do custom binds, so I can take my comics, bunch them all together, mail them out, and they'll remove the covers and they'll bind them. So I want these boxes upon boxes of shit that's in my closet. Yeah, exactly. And then I could get myself my own little hardcover and just stow it away too. But
So like my 37 single issues of Runaways, I could have all bound together.
Exactly.
That
You
would
can
be
have it
so
all
nice.
in one.
Yep.
One.
Yeah, that was one that I subscribed to a long time. Like I've been getting it for a long time.
Well, that's always my biggest thing. Is I always again I'm aware of this title for so long, but I hate double dipping.
Yeah.
Unless I absolutely loved it. There are definitely books I bought multiple copies of, but from the collector, from the book lover that I am, you both are. I do love having these. I love the trades. They're a little digestible. Like, oh, it's an hour before bed. Let me run through it. But I do love being able to pull out a big chunk, and they obviously look beautiful on the shelves. With that said, Allory, your verdict. We're gonna give you. Give me your brief overall summary and 1 out of 10.
Okay. Draws you in right from the beginning. Like we said, the art, like even if you don't want to read it, flip through for the art because it's amazing. But super intriguing right from the get-go. At the end of issue 4, even though like the story is going in a different way than I had imagined, I'm more intrigued than ever. Solid 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
Yes, I am really enjoying it.
What would you like to see going forward with this book?
Like I said, strong character development. I'm not much of a I really enjoy character-driven stories, more so than setting. I've been disappointed in some novels this past year that were just like, okay, I get it. I've been reading about the setting for forever, and I mean the setting in this case, the art speaks for itself. And I would like to see it since it's over. I want everything to be wrapped up really nicely, or just vague enough that I'm okay with it. I don't want to have questions left. Even I don't mind endings where not everything is concrete, but I like to have at least like, okay, probably either this or this happened. You can decide. I don't like there to be a bajillion questions or things left unanswered unless there are, obvious plausible outcomes that you can imagine for it, if that makes sense.
I do, and I definitely don't like kind of an open-ended or a omnibus ending kind of thing unless this creator of this creator-owned title somewhere down the line has plans for a continuation.
Yeah.
But no, that's Harrow County. Allory gave it a solid, uneven number, 8.5 out of 10. She had to be difficult and make me do two more.
That's a B, not a B minus.
So, what's your grading scale at your school?
Like the 10-point scale. So like 90 is an A minus, 89 is a B plus.
Okay. Solid B?
Yes.
Right there, B. Okay.
And I am fully willing to revisit that once I've read the whole thing. I don't feel like I can just give it, a 10 out of 10 based on 6 issues. Yeah, 4 to 6 issues.
Laura, you are up. What do you think?
I thought it was a wonderful story. I am definitely going to be reading all of it. Unlike you, Chris, I do have a tendency to double dip. So even if I have digital access, I am absolutely buying this in hardback. I want to see every one of them on my bookshelf. I don't care. I love the artwork, the storyline. It's great. Again, I talked about, it invokes the senses. I love that. That's not something you always see in graphic novels and comic books and stuff. And even in just the short clips, like the writing's so well done, the artwork's beautiful. I would give it a 9 out of 10.
How dare you?
I know. I had to.
Just have to one up me.
Well, it was either that or one down you.
That's true. It deserves more respect than that. You can.
Right.
I'm good with a 9.
Yeah, I'm
absolutely.
excited.
I really wanted to have a. So, how do I want to say this? No, I do. If anytime, I don't know if you're a physical book reader, if you're a digital book reader, but I feel like either side of the spectrum you're on, if you've read something that's drawn you in enough or compelled you enough to want to own a physical copy, then fucking match made in heaven, in all honesty. Allory gave her an 8.5. Laura went ahead and one-upped her with the 8.5 out of 10. Laura went and one-upped her with a 9 out of 10. For me, I'm going to tell you, I put mine in before you guys even came when I did all this crap. Don't want to piggyback off either one of you, but so my local comic book shop is like with the 21st century now. So they have an app. Everything I want, I can put it in my folder. Like right now, they can tell me what books I have at the shop currently for me. Jesus, it's insane. Right, they can tell me what books I actually have at the shop for me, things like that. And I can look at previews of the books coming out. And I went ahead and put this on my pull list as soon as it was announced. Of course, I put it on my pull list hoping it was a hardcover. Was slightly disappointed it was a soft cover. I was like, oh shit, because I could have had the 4 of the hardcovers. They would have looked nicer on the shelf. But I know as soon as I would read the first hardcover, which would cover the first 2 trades, I'd instantly want the next. But hey, I've got the first 4 right here. Little bias for me. I've read some of his other work. I've read like 70% of his creator-owned stuff, and I love it. And I'm probably not going to wait until the next omnibus comes out. I'm just going to go ahead and get it on Comixology and just knock it out. That's how much I like the book. Laura as well, I went with a 9 out of 10. I do. I think this is a great book. I think he's got so much to play with, and I think that he's got so much to play with because I think one of the biggest premises of the first trade of the book was, Haints alone. It was something I didn't know, and God forbid, what about all these other 6 trades that I haven't read yet of other shit that I don't know? So like I said, you said you looked it up and you went down this wormhole and you found that this was a real thing, this and that, and I'm beyond excited to find out more creepy, scary, Southern Gothic horrors that have not been brought to light yet, but I have full faith in Cullen Bunn that he's going to bring those to light and make me a Harrow County believer. 9 out of 10 for me. Always room to grow.
I really hope we get to learn more about the Haints and like get into the different types and like kind of the backstory relationship with her. I think it's going to be really interesting.
I agree with you. I'm really never one for. It's kind of hard once they're over because I know where it ends. Now I know this book ends with 32, so I know as I progress along into the next omnibus, once I get to 25, 26, 7, 8, I'm like, oh, it's coming, and I'm not. If I know where the end is, I'm not one for filler issues. But I feel like this is a book that if you were to give me filler issues, if you were to give me a filler issue of this new woman that comes to light at the end of it, I'm okay with that. If you give me a filler issue of the original with Agatha Hatcher, Hester. If you give me a filler issue of her, if you give me like the old school like Supernatural X-Files like Monster of the Week, I don't think I'd be upset. I think that's
who did that really well.
Who's that?
Wicked and the Divine.
I read
You
the first.
disagree?
I couldn't do it. I know you like that book.
Did you not read the whole thing?
I read the first
Or
trade.
any of it?
I read the
Okay,
first
yeah,
trade.
I have all 9. We
I
met
definitely feel
the
like it's a book you
authors.
would love. Yeah.
Yeah, they were super cool. The story wrapped up really nicely, but they do some really cool standalones where they just go back and show, because it's about, the gods coming back to Earth,
Mhm.
where they're all destined to die. So they do some really cool ones, like in the previous resurrections, where they go back and show them it through all of these different time periods, and it's really cool. So even if you don't like the story, just from what you're talking about, they did that really well.
Yeah.
Those just standalone flashbacks.
No, absolutely. Like I said, I the young skin suit boy, give me back issues on him. Give it to me all. Like I said, you've knocked it out of the park with this first trade, where I think that you can go any direction, in any direction that Cullen Bunn and Tyler Crook want to take me on. I'm definitely here for. So that was our hour. We talked Harrow County. Allory jumped in. She gave it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Laura, 9 out of 10. And of course, myself. Oh, shoot. I just kind of jumped her. Both of us, 9 out of 10. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do expect to continue reading this book all the rest of the way through it. If I wasn't a Cullen Bunn fan before this, I am now. I hope you both are as well. I don't know if you've read any other. I know you said your fiance has read a book before, met him as well. But no, I'm sold. I really enjoy the title, and I am interested in more, and I'm excited for more. And I'm glad I've gotten. You guys have it at your fingertips. I'm glad I went ahead and bought the omnibus as well. Closing thoughts, closing comments. What do you guys think?
Highly recommend.
8.5 out of 10.
Sign up for Cosmetology. Comicsology.
Cosmetology.
I mean, that's that
degree.
Like album. Okay. No, next week. What are we thinking about for next week? I didn't say it. I really was really hoping the both of you enjoyed this book. I kind of thought that this would be a very good book for the both of you, considering I kind of shit the bed on the last week's book.
The art was pretty.
The art was pretty.
It's like he colors real well, or he listens real good, or something. Like misbehaving kid. He eats his vegetables. Yeah. No, I feel like I kind of shit the bed on last week's book, and I thought this was. I got it 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I did the thumb test, and I was like, oh yeah, I think this is going to be a no-brainer. I know I suggested WandaVision. What do you guys think?
I mean, I have not watched it yet. We fully intend to, so we can definitely talk about it.
Laura?
Chuck's super pumped to watch it, so it will be on my TV.
Okay, so with that said, the first two issues, the first 2 episodes are out. They did drop last Friday. The 3rd episode will be out this Friday. Is next Wednesday enough time for you both of you to watch the 3 episodes?
Come on. Yes. I watched the entire season of The Flight Attendant this week, so I think.
Dude, was it good? Because I really want to watch it.
Yeah, I think you'll love it, Allory. It was really good.
Yeah, I've been waiting. I think all I did today, I watched 3 seasons of Schitt's Creek that I've seen 800 times, but I'm so in love with David and Patrick that I just start it when Patrick comes on the show, because I'm like, I don't even care about it.
Open mic night's my favorite episode.
Oh my god, yeah. I could have gotten much more done at work today, and I've seen it, I've seriously seen it so many times that I just watch it over and over again. And every time I'm just like can't breathe because they're so cute.
So again, I don't want to go over too much, but which one is Dan Levy's son, or Eugene Levy's son? Which one's he?
David.
Okay. David. I do enjoy him. I think he's very funny.
I love David.
No, I enjoyed. I really want to discuss it. I definitely don't want to bore or bog you down with my crazy superhero theories with the show, but if you guys both watch it and both enjoy it, then I'm more than willing to jump down. I got like 6 different theories I've got going on right now from 2 episodes. So
Okay.
I definitely enjoy it. I never would have thought that Elizabeth Olsen would be the best Olsen of all of them, but I love her.
I know, right?
I love her
She
in
just
everything.
kind of crept on, like snuck under the radar, and then was like, boom, superstar.
And of course, Paul Bettany. I will give you one mild spoiler that totally blew my mind. You're in for a treat. We do have Kitty Foreman from That 70s Show on WandaVision.
Oh, I love her,
Me
Deborah
too.
Jo Rupp.
Yes, yes. I was very happy. I was like, yep. But I will say, if you haven't seen Captain Marvel, have you both seen Captain Marvel? Okay.
I have a Captain Marvel leather jacket.
You will need to have watched Captain Marvel for the series. I think you will obviously. I know you both haven't seen Star Wars, but I assume you've both seen Endgame.
I've
And
seen Star
Yes.
Wars.
Okay, but you didn't read the book.
I saw a few minutes of one the other day because I was screen recording it to put it online for our Kids on Campus kids because they have to do online ones. So we have movie club, but I just like, since we're not allowed to stay and watch movies together, I just put them on Google Classroom for them. So I did watch like 15 minutes of it, but it was muted, and I was just telling Tim what I thought was happening.
It's a
That
new
sounds
age
fun.
teaching method I'm doing.
Yeah, he was like, I was talking to him while I was at work while I was screen recording in it, and they were like in that desert thing, but there was like this igloo looking thing, and then that gold guy got all wet, which doesn't seem like it should still work after that. And then there was like the hologram, but it was really small, and then I was like, is that like, that's his sister, right? And he was all like, yeah, but they don't know that. And I was like, well, you're telling me that because like they make out eventually, right? And he was like, yeah, that's
Oh.
And
Okay.
that's it. That's a summary of the Star Wars.
Yeah, that was the whole saga.
That's all I know. I don't remember. Was it Luke? Was that guy? I didn't know if it was Luke or the Han guy.
God damn it. Okay.
I haven't seen it. I wasn't lying. Like I'm too cool to see. I have not seen it. I don't know who the people are.
Just know that Jar Jar Binks is the best character of any Star Wars movie.
Is that the gold thing?
No.
Okay.
just takes
Huh?
a bit of like, no.
I'm sorry. Is
good.
that the like? I can kind of picture this. He's like a monster guy, right? Like he doesn't look like a human, right? Okay.
He looks like a little
And-
frog lizard thingy with an.
Okay. Yeah, I know who he is. I didn't know his name, but I've seen. God damn it! But I've seen it.
Okay, well, to the 3 people watching right now, guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening to us to ramble on about a horror book that we all love. It was nominated for 8 Eisner Awards, and we all have full intentions of writing out all 32 issues. If you are...
I found it.
Nice. If you're interested in checking out Harrow County, check out Comixology. After this video, I'll drop it in the comments below. I'll drop the link to Comixology. Laura, does Little Professor have an email or a website of the sort? I'm making it your duty for this week to drop that in the comments as well.
I will do that.
Thank you kindly. And of course, we have other outlets. You have Amazon. You have everything else of the sort. Don't be a scumbag. Don't pirate it off the internet. As easy as it is, don't be that way. A lot of people, heart and soul, went into this book. We're going to come at you next week with our review, our heavy spoiler review of WandaVision. I'm very excited for it.
How long are the episodes?
I don't know. I get in that Marvel groove, and I mean, fucking a year could go by, I wouldn't fucking move. I didn't get up. I watched both
I was
episodes.
just
And
curious.
didn't maybe 30, 40 minutes, maybe.
Did you say the second one or the third one is on Friday?
They drop every Friday. The first 2 episodes are out already. Yeah.
There's a soccer game on Friday, so I'll probably watch Saturday, but I will watch them.
Too easy. As long you've got till next Wednesday.
Yes.
As always, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for talking to us. Thanks for listening to us talk about something that we love. We love storytelling and a escape from the real world that is comic books. As always, I'm Chris.
I'm Laura.
I'm Allory. I'm probably gonna get fired.
Don't worry. There's nothing but time to watch Star Wars. Everybody, take care of yourselves. Be kind to others. Wear your mask. And we'll see you next week. Wednesdays at 7. Every week. Oh, shit. I got to go to the field in like 2 weeks. Almost every week. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you. We love talking comic books. We love getting the comic book content to you. And as always, take care. And we'll see you next week.